Hi, and welcome to the Weather Guru Podcast Weekend Edition. Today, February 19th, Friday, 2021, for the lower 48 United States and beyond. And right now, we're going to just take a look at the New York radar, the last vestiges of this winter storm, historic winter storm for the Central Plains and lower Deep South. Is moving out, finally exiting the northeast here. And as you can see when I put the radar in motion here, we currently have some snow showers into New York City and Long Island, extending into northern New Jersey, just up into Waterbury, Connecticut, and Springfield, Connecticut, and up through the Berkshires, just west of the Boston, Massachusetts Turnpike. This is light snow showers. They will produce probably about 1 or 2 inches before it's all said and done. And this storm will move out into the Atlantic. But areas like Philadelphia and into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, they picked up about 9 inches of snowfall out of this system. And so very hefty totals in the state of Pennsylvania. Northern New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, picked up a couple of inches. And into New York, they picked up about 4 or 5 inches of snow. But it was more like a sleet, because we had sleet at first and that mixed in with the snow. And so that brought down some of the accumulating snowfall totals here. Now up into Boston, it's snowing there currently moderately, and I'll show you that loop here. And here's Boston. You can see there's heavy snow to the north of town, up through Manchester, New Hampshire, and also down into Plymouth and Nantucket Island and Nantucket Island and Gloucester, down those ways. Heavy to moderate snow off the coast here. Boston, you're going to pick up an additional 2 to 3 inches of snow before it's all said and done here. And that should be pretty much it for northern New England here as we wrap up what's left of Winter Storm Viola. Now down south, there's still some power outages here. I want to note in southern Virginia, from Emporia County up through Petersburg, Virginia, just to the south of Richmond and over toward Danville, Virginia, they had picked up over a 1/4 inch of ice, and this ice has caused power outages for that area. There's still about 30,000 customers in Southern Virginia and Northern North Carolina and the Piedmont that is out of power right now. But most importantly, in Texas here, we finally have some good news to report with the winter storm. The power numbers have been coming down all day, and right now in the Houston, Dallas metro area, we have about only 1 million people now that is without power. Power is being restored from Houston to San Antonio to Austin, back up into the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. And temperatures are going to be warming this weekend. Temperatures on the warming trend. So by Sunday, you should be back up closer to the 40s and 50s. And then by next week, Monday or Tuesday, you'll be back up into the 50s and 60s from Houston, Fahrenheit, up into Dallas-Fort Worth and San Antonio. And also down into the Brownsville, the Valley, and areas of that. Del Rio, Texas, had the heaviest snow ever on the Mexican border here toward the Rio Grande, West Texas, past the Red Hills. They picked up over a foot of snow. So that snowpack is 1.5 feet right now of snow on the ground. They picked up a little bit yesterday morning. There's nothing on the radar today for Del Rio and Comstock and those areas to the down in the south there, closer to the Mexican border. So just thought I'd point that out to you. But this deep freeze here has lasted all over the country here. By the way, I want to mention for our friends over in Hawaii, there is a special marine warning right now for the Kauai leeward waters. Strong thunderstorms are moving west at 10 knots. Wind gusts are reported 34 knots or greater, and hail is indicated. So there's a small craft warning just to the south of Kauai Island and the Big Island here. Honolulu, there's also some thunderstorms working their way through Honolulu and Aiea and Waipuhu. Some of the areas to the west of there. So just to be on the lookout, there's heavy downpours, heavy torrential downpours from Honolulu westward to Kauai and the Big Island. And these showers are moving their way northwest at a pretty fast clip. And that's the only warnings that we have out of the whole entire contiguous United States here. Just want to throw that into you, that feature into you today. Now moving on to our weather news for today. There's a lot of news going on. There is more snow coming on the way for the Midwest and Northeast, but this will be coming up actually next weekend. Coming up this coming weekend, probably after Tuesday. The next winter storm is going to be coming in on Sunday night, Monday to Tuesday. It should bring lake effect snow through Buffalo, the Tug Hill Plateau, and also into the Great Lakes from southwest lower Michigan into Grand Rapids and over toward Detroit and into Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Montreal and Ottawa. This system is going to be mainly snow, so you're going to get about 3 to 6 inches of snow, and the heaviest snowfall is going to be between eastern Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So Chicago, you're going to get in on that, 3 to 6 inches. And then everywhere south of that, from Indianapolis to Columbus on I-70, even Cleveland, you're going to see a wintry mix of rain and snow. And so we expect snow accumulations to be somewhat decreased. And that would mean only about an inch or two. But we can handle that, right, guys? We can handle that in the Midwest. We can handle that in the Northeast compared to what we had all this February. By the way, the snow cover has increased in the United States to 72.2% in February compared to 35% in January. And a lot of cities are still, believe it or not, are still below average, like the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. They're still about 6 inches below average from where they should be during this time of year. Philadelphia, you're around average. New York, of course, you're around average. But there's some cities out west that have not gotten any snowfall that much, mainly Denver and the lower Rockies. They've been kind of limited on snowfall. And so that's something to keep in mind, too, as well. Now, next weekend, there's a pattern change, and I want to talk about this real quickly. There's going to be a pattern change shift here from the jet stream, the polar jet stream, dipping all the way down that we had this week to bring in the Arctic air. The Arctic air retreats next week on Wednesday, and that's going to cause a ridge to develop in the Central Plains. So anywhere from Houston, Dallas, Oklahoma City, up through Omaha, through the Dakotas and Minnesota are going to be warming into the 50s and 60 degrees, 70 degrees from Corpus Christi, Brownsville South, over towards New Orleans and Florida Gulf Coast and the first coast of Jacksonville and down toward the Panhandle. Down toward the Space Coast. They're going to be warming into the 70s. So everywhere's going to experience warm air. As the jet stream retreats north, a ridge is going to be building in the Central Plains and in the southeast, and that's going to put a block to the normal winter chill. Everywhere from New York City, Boston, Providence, Albany, those areas will still experience cold, but it'll be typical of normal conditions. So that should be a blessing in disguise and cause a lot of the snow to melt next weekend from a lot of the areas that got the snow. Now, this conditions that we've had with this past week winter storm has caused significant records. Over 2,000 record lows was set during a 1 week period, this deep freeze that we were in the States. Now, also, with the next week warm up, temperatures are going to be 40 to 50 degrees higher than they were this past weekend. So this coming Wednesday, temperatures are going to be 40 to 50 degrees higher than they were Fahrenheit from Oklahoma City to Rapid City, South Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, Des Moines, Kansas City, Little Rock, and Houston, Texas are some of the cities that are going to experience overnight temperatures and daytime temperatures above normal. So we're going from below normal to above normal now. And you can see the next winter storm is already queued up on the Weather Channel and other channels as well. It hasn't got a name yet, but it shouldn't be nothing significant here. This is just a basic surface low that's coming through with a backdoor cold front, and it's going to produce, like I said, there 3 to 6 inches of snow into Des Moines, Iowa, and Chicago, and around Michigan, southwest Michigan, and Detroit. All other points are just going to pick up just general flurries as the system moves by. And so, guys, the great news is that springtime is only about 21 to 27 days away, meteorological spring, and Mother Nature's going to respond to us all and warm us up and bring us back to where we are at average. We typically get a cold Arctic chill like this around the last week of January and heading into the first 2 weeks of February. That's usually the coldest part of meteorological winter, and it played out this year just in the point. The beautiful weather, and this is in the southwest and in California. Los Angeles, you're 72 degrees and sunny. Seattle, you're 48 degrees and raining, typical. San Francisco, you're 56 degrees and partly cloudy. Las Vegas, hey, sunshine and 63 perfect temperatures. Albuquerque, you warmed up to 44 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Denver, you warmed up 49 degrees and sunny. Atlanta, you're 47 degrees sunny and looking beautiful. Chicago, 22 degrees and partly cloudy. Minneapolis, 18 degrees, partly cloudy. And so a lot of cities are experiencing, they're warming up. These are much better temperatures compared to where they were, say, on Monday of this week when we had temperatures 50 below in Minneapolis, in Iowa, and in the Dakotas, and negative temperatures were felt all the way down into Texas. Like I said, Dallas set a record at 2 below zero, and with power out and with water is the next concern. They got to get the water fixed. A lot of water mains broke in Oklahoma City and Texas, and they got to get that fixed now as well. And so, guys and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue to see weather extremes. Global warming is real, and also weather extremes is real, as 14 million in Texas are still without drinking water after deadly storms. So that's the next big challenge, and it's going to take a couple of weeks to get this thing back normal, not just in Texas, but in other areas too. So this has been your weather update for the lower 48, and also the international forecast for Hawaii and other places as well. Caribbean looks good. There's nothing really going on there. I'm going to just zoom out here back toward the contiguous United States to show you here. The Caribbean looks good. Besides San Juan, Puerto Rico, I just want to say you do have some showers in the vicinity here. They're moving toward the east from Fajardo into Vieques and coming into the eastern San Juan district there. So you want to watch out for that if you're out there. And also if you're boating between Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, from Vieques to Culebra to the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, and the British Virgin Islands, be careful. There's some heavy showers out there that you want to be mindful of. There in the San Juan radar there, as you can see, those showers are coming in. So just be mindful of that. They're just to the north, they're moving quickly to the northwest across the island here of Puerto Rico, and up to the Turks and Caicos, and also Dominican Republic. Be mindful of these showers as they crossed over the Strait to the Mona Passage into Dominican Republic, eastern Dominican Republic. So those of you in Punta Cana resorts or any of that, you might want to be fine. Elsewhere in the Caribbean, everything looks absolutely fabulous. There's no showers or tropical waves to note. And those of us in South America and Brazil, Colombia, Guyana, Venezuela, Ecuador, things look absolutely fabulous there as well. So have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to The Weather Guru. Please be sure to subscribe and then listen. Tell your friends and neighbors that The Weather Guru is the place to be for the pure, unadulterated, 100% weather news and weather forecasts, brought to you by yours truly, The Weather Guru. Take care. Blessings. Talk to you soon.